Or time to gather with family. Maybe it's been a little while since you were last together. In today's CI Health, recognizing changes with your older relatives. Sandy Hockman for Evergreen Place Assisted Living is here with more details. It may have been a year or so since we've gotten together with family, and there could be noticeable changes in our older loved ones that we need to be looking for.
There can be, and at this time of the year, you really want to be looking for maybe a slip in personal hygiene or maybe their personal appearance, Tim. What I find in speaking to my families, significant changes when families are coming to talk to me, they will be saying, well, there's an unkept appearance. My loved ones' clothes, they're wearing them day over day. They're not washing them. Perhaps maybe there also is a significant weight loss. And so these are all signs of a significant change that you would really want to be entrenched.
Do you find that people tend to sort of gloss over some of that stuff? It's superficial, it doesn't matter, it's not a big deal, and then wait until it's too late or too long?
Picking an assisted living community when you are in a state of crisis is never a good idea. Yeah. You know, you need to really be honing in on some of those warning signs. Maybe there's frequent incidences or accidents happening in the home. You really need to dig a little bit deeper, because those inevitably, an example of an accident or an incident could be frequent falls. Why are those falls happening? Those falls can also happen with injury. Why is an individual not taking their medications on a regular basis? Those can all lead to dangerous situations, and you really want to hone in on those and not wait for that emergency to happen.
I'm guessing it can maybe be difficult also to discern between accident and incident, or accident's more of a one-time thing, it just happened, we all have accidents, and something that's a little bit more regular. It's starting to happen more and more often, and
those
that
are
can be hard to determine.
Those are signs that we need to be involved, and we need to be looking at getting a different solution on board.
What about isolation for these loved ones who are maybe pulling away from friends or family, staying in the house more? Is that just a natural occurrence, or is that something that could become a problem as well?
It can be a problem, and I find when I'm speaking to families, that's one of my questions, is what's important to you when you're looking to a senior living community. Socialization and engagement is one of those answers I get time and time again. And when you can combine socialization into a lifestyle, it really, if you put those two in tandem, you really will have a more beneficial outcome. You'd be surprised how many seniors can get depressed doing the same mundane routine time and time again. They may think they're fine, but if they're vocalizing that they're lonely, if they're vocalizing that they're depressed, it's probably time to look at getting a significant change in place, and certainly that's where Evergreen Place can come in.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about what's new there, because this last year has been a year of transition and change at Evergreen, and I know you guys are super excited about some of that.
There has been a lot of wonderful changes, and perhaps maybe you have never come to visit us, or maybe you have and you'd like to come back. What you're going to find is a vibrant team that is committed to taking care of your loved ones. You know, when I'm meeting with families, the one thing that I'll say is, thank you for entrusting us with the care of your loved one. What you're also going to see is we have Heritage Operations Group that actually manages our community. We are still owned by the Hallbeck family, but the Heritage Operations Group is something new, and they have 50 years of experience in managing a community just like Evergreen Place.
I would imagine that makes a big difference in the day-to-day.
It has been a wonderful difference. It has been a wonderful difference.
Well, thank you for those tips and things to be looking for. And obviously, if you need a place or at least want to start asking the questions, Evergreen is the place to go. We will connect you with all the details on how you can connect with them. There's a look at their website on your screen, or you can go to our website, which is ciliving.tv. Thanks, Sandy.